My name is Howard Settler. At the time I knew Dr. Carver, I was probably somewhere between the ages of 5 and 8 years old in the late 1930s and early 1940s. My father taught in the School of Agriculture, and his office was close to Dr. Carver's laboratory. So that on Saturday mornings, my father and other faculty members would bring their children to work, and we'd kind of play around outside the agriculture building. But one of our main interests was Dr. Carver and seeing what he was doing in his laboratory. We would stand outside of the door, and he would see us standing out there and make sure we stood at the door. But we were a constant problem because one of us would always be trying to sneak into his laboratory to get a closer look. So he would bribe us by giving away peanuts and telling us to go outdoors and play. Well, that was enough to keep most of us outdoors, but the peanuts would make me sick, so I would go back inside and complain to Dr. Carver about the peanuts. And he would give me a different kind of a nut there. And so, well, here, instead of eating the peanuts, you eat these. And I'd take those outdoors and eat them, and they would do all right. I wouldn't get sick, but the kids would tease me because they were not peanuts. So I took them back inside to Dr. Carver and told him this. He said, well, don't worry about them teasing you, because one day everybody in the world is going to be eating the same type of nuts that I just gave you that I'm cooking here in the laboratory. And as it turned out, those were soybeans. And that was about the year, maybe around 1940 or a year or so before then, when people were not eating soybeans. And so his predictions were right. Everyone in the world started eating soybeans, and to this day, I still eat soybeans. I brought some letters from my father that Dr. Carver wrote him because Dr. Carver liked certain types of food. And in theory, my father was the director of agriculture, and the directors at that time tried to keep Dr. Carver happy because he had a worldwide reputation. So my father would bring him home sometimes at noontime, and my mother would cook lunch for him. At that time, after lunch, he taught her how to crochet, and that was that's what I brought here. This was the type of crochet work that he taught her to do. And on this laminated plaque are the letters that Dr. Carver wrote to him. So that I got these made up for my father, and he liked to talk about them. He died when he was about 102, only a couple of years ago. But I was a little boy just watching and things that Carver did, and I was fascinated by them, as were a lot of the youngsters my age around that time.